we need to talk about hair, and I mean we really need to talk about hair. We need to talk about shampoo, and we need to talk about the whole years process around that, because listen, this video is inspired by my Discord because I was there, and the things people did not know about, like things you should know about hair, shampoo, taking care of your hair, how to get longer hair, to have healthy hair, it baffled my mind. But like, here's the thing, I understand, so you don't need to feel ashamed, because like I did not know either before I like watch a lot of videos on it and for myself. Because if you are a person who potentially didn't have parents who teach them to you, school doesn't teach you this anyway. I think they should. Everybody has hair at some point in their life. They should, okay? And if you didn't have like any other female friends when growing up to talk about like this beauty and like taking care of your things, you probably don't know. And that's like not your fault. It's society's fault, okay? It's like there should be a healthcare class in school. Okay, there should be a healthcare class in school from literally like maybe 3rd or 4th grade all the way until you graduate, right? Where you slowly learn more and more and more and more. But there isn't. But one thing, before we go into the main meat and potatoes of hair, shampoo, and conditioner of this video, I need to tell you a little story. Because what happened to me today was crazy. So imagine a German VTuber girl in her own little room drinking a fizzy drink. And the fizzy drink was in a can, kind of the same size like a Dr. Pepper, right? And I was drinking it. And all of a sudden, I had to sneeze. So I sneezed. And somehow the air of the sneeze went inside of the can when the can was bubbling because it was a fizzy drink and there was still a lot of drink in. The beverage bursted out from the can into my freaking nostrils and all over my glasses. And my whole face was full of drink. Okay, that's enough. Okay, save your hair. Here's how, here's why. Let's go. Number one, most of the topics I'm gonna talk about is from a perspective if you want long hair, if you want like girly looking hair and stuff like that, right? But of course, everybody else can still take something away from this video. Okay, general stuff you should know that not many people do actually know. You should very likely not shampoo your hair daily. There is like even an article I popped up, which I'm gonna read to you in a second here. It's from WebMD, which is obviously a platform with like a lot of doctors. And we're first gonna go over how shampoo works. And they say here, shampoo traps oil. So if you do it too frequently, you may dry your hair out. We already know, or you should know what shampoo does, right? It takes out the wetness basically of your hair, dries it out, which is why we counteract the shampoo with conditioner later, right? And leaving it prone to breakage, says Angela Lamb, not Angela Merkel apparently, MD and assistant professor of dermatology, blah, 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 blah. And then she goes on like, for instance, black people's hair is more fragile and at risk for damage. Hair products, natural oil called sebum, and shampoo is an emulsifier that captures and traps oil and product residue, which you then rinse out and clean. Right, so that's the thing. And then they have like a different paragraph, and the link is going to be down in the comments. So if you want to read this yourself, who should shampoo daily? The experts agree only a small group needs to shampoo daily, like those with very fine hair, someone who exercises a lot and sweats, or someone living in a very humid place. And then they also go on to say that there's like no blanket recommendation of how often you should use shampoo. But now let's go into why you should probably not shampoo daily unless you're in like one of these like very small groups of people, right? So shampoo is basically damaging your hair a little bit, but it's damaging your hair every single time you use it, which is like we wanna like not use this as often. And whenever we do use shampoo, we always want to use conditioner after. Let's talk about shampoo first. So it doesn't really matter what brand of shampoo you get, right? I don't care. Get one that smells like peaches, get one that smells like Rattata from Pokemon. I don't care, okay? You want a shampoo that just makes your hair clean. How do you use shampoo? This is also something people basically do not know. To support the shampoo, what it does is you put the shampoo onto like one of your hands And then you put you are in the shower, so your hand's already wet, right? So you put the shampoo on the wet hand, then you take your other hand and slowly you rub in a circular motion the shampoo in your two hands. When you have the shampoo on your two hands, you also already like emulsified a little bit. That's like the term for it, right? It's like a little bit bubbly. Then you put both hands on top of your scalp and put it all over your scalp and like scratch it a little bit to like get it into the pores, right? That's how you do it. Why do you do this? Because basically, if you just slap a little bit of shampoo without like rubbing it between your hands first on your head, it's like doesn't get the big effect, right? Because sure, you can then try to rub your head, but because it's like there's all the hair and stuff, it never really gets the friction it needs, right? So you like pre-rub the shampoo so it gets better effect. Then continuing on with shampoo, technically you should probably leave it in like, dude, some people say like 5 minutes, but we ain't got no time, right? I leave the shampoo most of the time in for like 30 seconds to like a minute, right? I put the shampoo in, I use like body wash in that time, then I get the shampoo out, right? Because we have more steps to do. I never wait as long as they tell you to do, because like, bitch, where have to access the time, baby? What are you doing? And now, if you are starting to either go from shampooing daily to less times, or you wanna like go multiple times without using shampoo, which I would recommend, you very likely every single time you do shampoo wanna shampoo twice. This was something like a hairdresser many years ago already told me. This can work for everybody, but especially for people that have like very like oily hair, right? You do the first shampooing, you get it out of water, and then you basically do the same step again. Because on the first like process, you take out all the shit that has like conglomerated into your hair out. And then in the second step, when it's like already out of the way, you can actually get some of the stuff out of the pores, right? So you have two things, and then you basically can go more days without showering, without it like getting like too oily again. That's basically how it works. One step for shampoo before we move on to the next topic. You do not, and I repeat, you do not want to put shampoo on like your hair that is hanging out from your face away, right? That means like your bangs, your hair on the side, your hair on the back. You literally only want to put the shampoo on your scalp, on your head, on that part of hair, right? Because then the shampoo will like automatically go to the rest of the body when you like wash it out. And since we already established shampoo dries out your hair, you do not want to put it like into like the very vulnerable parts of your hair, which is like the ends of your hair, right? Because they already do not get like the full nutrition and like hydration that the rest of your hair gets, because that's just how your body works, right? It's like the same way where like the end of like a leaf from a big tree doesn't get as much as like you get it, right? That's how it works. So get it out. Next step, and this is like very important, this is like a game changer if you have not used the magic of conditioner before in your life. This is a fucking game changer. While shampoo is for your hair and for your scalp to get the oils out, conditioner counteracts the shampoo to like bring like the hydration back, right? And we basically do the opposite that we had with shampoo. Your conditioner, you only want to put on like your hanging down hair, right? You do not want to put it on top of your hair, on top of your scalp. You basically do the same thing. You put a conditioner on your hand, between both of your hands, and then you basically just go through all of your hair, slowly like a piece of rope, basically, taking it through your hands, putting conditioner on there. And potentially, what I heard some people do it, like you want to like press the hair together with the conditioner, so you like hear the like this kind of noises, right? When you put it in there, you want to have like the bubbly, like squishy noises. And now conditioner, you actually do have to leave in like a little bit. Some people, again, say like 10 minutes, but babe, we ain't got no time. So leave it in like a minute, 2 or 3, depending on how much you actually like to shower or if you're like in a bath or something, right? I try to do like 1 to 2 minutes to have it do their work. And we're going to go over another product in a bit that can help with that as well, right? So you have that time. Then you're going to take that out. And then you're done with the shower, basically, right? You now have your hair. That is the basic thing I would do every single time you do shower. It sounds a lot right now, but like, it maybe is like 5 minutes more time in the shower than what you're probably doing right now. So it's not that much more once you get the hang of it, right? That's like the basic step. The other steps, which I do like every 2 or 3 weeks or like every month, we're gonna get to that in a minute now, right? But now we have wet hair. And there are 2 important things you need to know now. There are 2 types of hair types, basically. I mean, there are way more, but there are 2 types I know about, right? There's curly hair and there's straight hair. And then, of course, you have all kinds of like subgenres of hair. When you have curly hair, you want to brush your hair while it is wet. And you want to get a brush that is meant to brush your hair when it's wet, right? That means one that like doesn't like what? What word? Strapitate? Oh my God, like doesn't like damage your hair, right? And when you have very straight hair, like I'm a person with very straight hair, the rest of me isn't straight, but my hair is, then you really only wanna brush your hair when it's like already dry, right? That is basically to protect your hair. There are multiple ways to get your hair dry. And for most people, it is actually recommended, even though it takes like freaking 8 hours, right? To like naturally let it dry out in the sun through the air. Do not lose your blow dryer. Do not use a lot of like towels and stuff like that, right? That is like recommended if you have time. But let's be honest, you can only really do that when either you shower before bed and then it dries overnight, or when you like shower on the weekend and you don't go anywhere, right? In the other situations, there are a few things you can do. What I like to do first is I take my big towel and I put it on top of my head. And again, same as with the shampoo, I only like rub the head where the scalp is, like to not damage the hair that's going off. For your other parts of the hair, you can get a so-called silk towel. There's even like silk towels advertised for hair, but just get a silk towel, right? With them, you can basically wrap the hair that's falling off like around you and get like the wetness out like that. But if you have like actual longer hair, right, you probably still have to do something like, now it's probably takes like 1 or 2 hours to dry by itself, but sometimes stuff happens and you do have to blow dry. I would recommend if you do use a blow dryer, because blow dryers are like damaging your hair as well. If you do it too much, use it like not on the highest setting and try to limit it like a little bit. Like what I like to do when I blow dry my hair, and I still do it every once in a while, you don't need your hair to be like perfectly dry from the blow drying. You just want to go over the most like egregious places of your hair, blow dry it, like rub your hair all the time, like shake it violently so all the wetness like goes away. And that's gonna be it. And then the rest is gonna dry on your way to work or something like that, right? That's that. So we talked about blow dryers, we talked about conditioners and shampoo. That's like it's the basic process now, right? It sounds a lot. We're at minute 13, but that's the basic process of like showering. Now there's a few more things we are gonna talk about. There is something called a leave-in conditioner, and that thing is fucking magic, and I love it. Listen, many of the times you do not have time to use conditioner in the shower. I get it. Maybe you only have like 10 minutes for your shower. Then it's like very unrealistic to use traditional conditioner. There is a thing called leave-in conditioner, which you use after you like dried your hair a little bit with a towel. And it's basically, most of them are like a spray. You like spray it into your hair like hairspray. And it's basically conditioner that stays in and is made to stay in, not to be washed out again, and has the same effect of conditioners. There's like lots of brands of them, right? Let's just get any of them. I have like I think it's called like Wonder Spray, whatever the hell, but they try to look on like US Amazon. I think it might be like a German brand or something, I'm not sure. So I can't like link it to you. That's leave-in conditioner. There's like, of course, our products. We're gonna talk about brushes now, okay? I will actually link the exact brush I am using because I did find it on Amazon. But there's also a brand called Wet Brush, and they are like very popular. And with them, you basically, as the name implies, you can brush when your hair is wet if you have to. But also it's a very good brush to like not have knots, and it's like very gentle on your hair. And the one I'm using is like even gentler because it's like has like very bendy like little things, right? what are they called? The like little teeth of the brush are like very bendy, so it like doesn't get stuck on hair. It's like that's what I'm using, and I'm pretty happy with that one, right? That's brushes. Next up, how can you support your hair otherwise? I am a big fan of taking biotin, and it's like nothing scary. It's just like a supplement you can take, and biotin does support your hair. And I'm pretty sure some parts of biotin also support your nails, so all over it's like a good thing. I don't take it daily, but like it probably is. There's like little tablets, and I don't know what the dosage is in them, but I take like maybe 3 a week just to like get my hair growth done and to make my hair stronger. And in general, your hair grows around, I looked it up, like 1 inch, which is like 1.23 centimeters per month. Of course, it varies depending on your age, depending on your, I don't know, your gender, depending on your, what's it called, your DNA, your ethnicity, it changes, right? But in general, it's around like 1 centimeter, a little bit more or less, give or take, right? So if, for example, you currently have like, just like, I don't know, neck long hair and you want your hair to go to your boobies or something, right? Just be aware that it can take a while. And stuff like biotin can help a little bit to make it a little bit faster. It's still not like hair growth thingy, but it's like helps a little bit, okay? Next up, there are so-called scalp massages, and I'm a very big fan of them. Because we have talked about like your hair cells at the scalp, and we can like support them by like actually literally giving them a little massage that activates them, right? Stimulates them to like enhance the hair growth thing, right? And those things are like $2, $3. I mean, you can technically use your hands as well to give you a little massage, or ask somebody else to give you a massage. But those things are pretty nice to put it into your hair, and it's cool. Now let's talk about longer showers, and I try to do these around once a month. There's like 2 or 3 products I use, which I got from like another TikTok video I watched like way back in the day. One of them is a so-called scalp cleanser or scalp scrub. It's like basically a kind of cream that has like some like bigger coarse material in there to like really cleanse your scalp. And it's like, it feels like you literally put like sand on top of your head. So you have to like you get it out with a lot of water afterwards, right? And you will probably take like an hour or longer in the shower if you do all these things, which is why I only do like once a month, right? That's like one of the things. Then there's also a thing called a hair mask, right? Mask like you put on your face, right? But this time on your hair. That one you do have to leave in quite a long time, but it basically is like very nutritious and fun stuff for your hair as well. And of course, that's like good when you have a lot of time, when you have maybe when you take a bath anyway and stuff like that, right? Those are the ones. There's also things like hair oils. I have one. I've only used it twice so far. Not a big fan, because if you wanna have like the most use out of your hair oil, you technically need to like slap it on your hair and then leave it in there for a few hours, which some people do. They slap it in their hair, they put like a garbage bag over their hair so it like doesn't leak out. They leave it in a few hours and then they wash it out. You can do it. It supports your face, your hair. But it's like, that's a lot of work. That's the point where I'm doing the cut. That's a lot of work. I did it twice, and now I'm like, that's a little bit too much for me. You know, that's too much. Next up, split hairs. Split hairs can happen to anybody. Probably do happen to anybody. And you should, as shitty as this sounds, go to like a hairdresser and get your split ends cut. If you don't know how they look like, if you don't know what they are, look it up on Google. Split ends do basically happen if you like take not as good care for your hair. And it's basically you cut them off so like the rest of your hair can grow longer again healthily, right? What you don't want is basically waste a lot of time by trying to grow out your hair, and then in the end it's like split hair ends all over, right? That sucks. But yeah, maintenance cuts should probably also be done. To be honest, do as I say, not as I do, because I did not get my hair cut for like 2 years now. I probably should. But my hair still looks very voluptuous and volucious and so cool. It's so amazing and I love it, okay? Let's see. What have I... Did we talk about everything? Let me actually go to my browser here. Let's see. We talked about the leave-in conditioner. We talked about the scalp scrub or the no tangle brush, the hair mask we talked about, the biotin we talked about, the silk towel we talked about, and the hair scrubber we talked about. Pretty sure I talked about everything in this video I wanted. But basically, if everything from like the last like 12 minutes is too much for you, do your girl a favor and at least shampoo not daily. And when you do shampoo, leave conditioner in, right? There's something else. If you do feel the need to wash your hair more often, you can wash your hair with just conditioner, right? That's better than using shampoo every day. And of course, you can also just wash your hair with water, right? That's it, right? That's it. We want to get to a point where we use like shampoo twice a week. Like if your hair gets oilier faster, maybe 3 times a week. My hair is nice enough to me that I can get away with only using shampoo twice a week, right? And my hair looks still good. And I do like that, right? So that's cool. That's it. This video both was requested and I got inspired to do it from the Discord once again. There's gonna be a bunch of links in the comments down below. Not the comments, I'm sorry, in the description down below. Those, full disclosure, are gonna be affiliate links. What does that mean? That means that when you go to on Amazon and buy anything, not just the products I linked you, if you go to Amazon from the links I sent you and buy anything, I get like a minuscule cut, right? It's like a little support you can do for me. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it's like always good to say that, right? That those are affiliate links. And if you buy it from someone else, I don't mind. Just do it, okay? Anyway, this is the hair video. Shy out. Bye.